Today we're going to solve systems of equations, and our essential question is, what is a system of equations? Okay, so the first thing is, a system of equations is one or more equations in a problem. Okay, and so how to find a solution or an answer? You're going to graph the equations on the same coordinate plane and then find their point of intersection. And the point of intersection is just another way of saying where they cross. So there are 4 steps to solving a system, and so we'll go over them and then we'll do some examples together. Okay, so first, you have to make sure the equations are solved for y. Okay, you want to make sure you can read y equals mx plus b, and so if they're not solved for y, we're going to make them. 2 is graph both equations on the same graph. And the reason we do that is because for step number 3, the intersection of the lines is going to be the answer to the system. So we have to know where they cross, and so that way we can find our answer. And the last step is to write our answer. We're going to write it as an ordered pair, and as a reminder, ordered pair is going to be x, y like this. Okay. So this is an example of a system. It has these little brackets to show that they are in the same set. And if we look at equation number 1, our b is going to be at 2 and our m is going to be at -1. Remember, if we can't do rise over run with a whole number, so to do that, we're going to put it over 1, and then that's what we're going to use to graph our first line. So we're going to start at 2, and we're going to go down 1 over 1 until you can kind of know where your line is going to be. Okay. Okay, so that is our equation for our line for number 1. Our line for number 2, let's go ahead and pick another color. Our b for number 2 is going to be that -4, and our m is going to be 2. And again, we need to make it as a fraction, so we're going to put it over 1. Okay, so let's graph it. We have -4, and this one we're going to go up 2 to the right 1. And do that until you can kind of tell where your line is going to go. And so we have a line that goes like that. Okay. Little arrows, and let me put arrows on the other line. And this is line number 2. Okay, so right here where they cross, right here at this point, that's going to be your answer, your solution. Okay, so to write your solution, you're going to write this. Your solution is at point x, y. So remember, yesterday we kind of reviewed how to name points. We're always going to do our x first. In this case, it's a 2, and our y is at 0. Okay, and then that is our answer. Our solution is at 2, 0. Okay, that means that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 0. Okay. Later on, when we get to word problems, this is going to make a little bit more sense on why each one has an answer. Okay, so for the next one, we have this system. 3x plus y is equal to 4, and y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, so if you notice, this first one is not in y equals form, right? It has an x with a y. So we have to change it to where it says y equals. Okay, so to change that, we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. And so we should get y equals -3x plus 4. Okay, now I can tell you what my y-intercept is and what my slope is. My y-intercept is 4 and my slope is -3. And then let's make it into a fraction, so it's over 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that. Start at 4, and then we're going to go down 3 and over 1, down 3, over 1, down 3, over 1. and that is our first equation. Our second equation, luckily it's already in y equals mx plus b form, so we can just see our y-intercept is -2, and our slope is 3, and let's make it into a fraction, so it's 3/1. So at -2, we'll put our point, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, up 3, over 1, and let's do one more, just like that. And we'll put in our line. So we got 2. And then our solution to this, because remember, we're not just graphing them, we're graphing them, and then we're seeing where they intersect, where they cross. They cross right here at 1, 1. Right, so our solution is at 1, 1. Okay, so that means x equals 1 and y equals 1. Okay, and then in our last example, we have y equals -x plus 10 and y equals x minus 2. Luckily, they are already in that form, y equals mx plus b, so all we have to do is graph it. So for the first one, our b is 10 and our m is -3. Let's go ahead and put it over 1. And so we're going to start at 10 up here at the top, and then we're going to go down 3 and to the right 1. And we can draw our line and our arrows. Okay, so that is equation number 1. And equation number 2 will be, our b is going to be -2, and our m, there's no number in front, so we can assume that it's a 1, and that will be 1/1. Okay, so we got -2, and we're going to go up 1 to the right 1, 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 all the way until you get a line. And that is our equation number 2. So here you can tell that our point is going to be right here, and that is point 3, 1. Okay, so solution is at 3, 1. So that means x equals 3 and y equals 1.